Hi you guys, I just finished this The Sky's the Limit page. I was going to call it Luck, but I decided not to. It's like all got sorts of blues and some coppers, and it's a fun page. So let's set that aside to dry, and let's take a look at what I have on my desk to make a card. So here are the scraps that I have. This is the die set that I used. I do have these, but I don't think I'm going to use them. My watercolors are out. These are scraps that I had. Let's see what else. I don't have a lot more of that blue. I do have this. I like this Stars Can't Shine Without the Darkness. That might make a neat, I don't know if it's long enough, if it's the right size for an A5 though. Looks like it's 6 inches, so you'd have to cut a bit off. That might be a nice sort of sympathy card or a stick with it card or something like that. Let's see, I had pulled this to use on the page and didn't, so I'm going to consider it potential for a card base. And I have all these hexagons, so what if I just do sort of a mosaic of a bunch of hexagons on this shimmery background? See what we come up with. Alrighty, first I'll make the base page. Now this is not an 8.5 by 11, it was a scrap of something else, but I just cut it to the same size as a regular A2 card. And then I had this offcut scrap from the previous page, and there's some words on the back, but I decided to use the hexagons and cut, since there's not a full hexagon there that I can fussy cut out, I'm just going to cut the inside and get the different patterns on a bunch of different hexagons, and then I'll mix that in with some glitter hexagons and other things. So that is my plan. And then I also have, I don't have enough of the dark blue, and one of them was too big, so I'll just make 2 small dark blue ones. So I'm going to go off and cut all of those things. Once again, I didn't put it, I did do a shim, so these are a little bit better than the other ones, but I still have to trim a couple, I think, with some scissors. They're really easy to cut because they're cut, 98% of the way through with the die. But sometimes, glitter paper, because it's layered, it's a little bit harder to get through unless you really add a good shim to it. So all of these papers are just scraps that I had left over, including the card base, which is not my normal. So this happens to be the right width, so I just needed to cut it in one direction. And now I'm just going to start creating and sort of laying out. And I've got 2 different sizes of hexagons. And so I'm just going to audition the different pieces, make sure I get separation from the different pieces. And I like the look of the different sizes of hexagons. It just makes it a little interesting. I'm trying to keep a space for a sentiment. There's more fussing to come, because I do a little hemming and hawing around. with them. So it's getting close. I'm just thinking to myself there, what can I do? What can I do? So I'm looking for a sentiment, I think, at this point. So I've gone and grabbed the paper pad to look to see if there is a sentiment that I can use off this cut apart sheet. And I think I'm going to go for this word that says celebrate. I kind of like the look of the card for a celebrate, maybe a graduation, or you could even give it for a birthday. And it's a masculine card, it's not too feminine. So I kind of like that as well. And then I like this dark blue, which is the back of that cut apart paper. I really like it. So I'm going to go cut some more. I'm going to use it as an outline for this. And then I'm also going to cut a couple of extra hexagons out of this paper and add it to the card. And I think I even cut a couple of extra afterwards and added them to my layout. If you watched that layout, I removed those dark blue ones, so I didn't have any dark blue on the paper, and this looks so much better on it. So I added a couple of them back onto the layout page too. So I've just gone to cut those, and I'm going to switch out. And that's not going to work because those two are too close together. So I'm going to move some things around still. All right, so I'm going to run off and cut an extra. I decided I wanted 3 of those dark blue. Now I just have to figure out where I would like to put it. The reason I switched those is because I didn't want to cut off the little shooting star that was on there. All right, and now I just have to start sticking them down. I do use my repositionable tape runner here, just in case I need to make some adjustments. You don't get a lot of maneuvering time with the art glitter wet glue. So I have some that are going off the page. And I'm very happy with the look of the different sizes of hexagons instead of the uniformity of using the same size. Makes it a little more challenging to place them, but I'm okay with it. And I like leaving the little gaps as well. So I'm pretty sure I pop this up. Little extra trimming. Those corners were not cut very well, so I'm just trying to trim them up a little bit. Pop up this sentiment, and then trim off the extra pieces. And that's ready to go on the card base. So the card did take me probably 30 minutes, but I'm really happy with it. So I have these little offcuts, and I decide I'm going to put them on the inside of the card. Because how fun is that? and you can't just have two. So I add a third one, just the edge of it. So I'm really pretty happy with the way this came out. Nice masculine card. You could use it for a birthday, you could use it for graduation or congratulations on anything, and a little surprise on the inside. Thanks, you guys.